Hey y'all, I suggest that all parents use this corona situation as a teaching tool for your kids. I know when I was growing up, the adults tried to hide certain things from kids. They didn't want you to know what was going on. They didn't want you to know the bad stuff because they felt as if it would harm you or do more damage to you. If you knew what was going on, they wanted to actually protect us from it. But I believe that when kids know what's going on, it actually prepare them for it. It prepare them for when it may happen to them. I believe that we should sit there and say, hey, you know what's going on with this coronavirus? This stuff is real. Like, I believe that we should sit down and tell them, like, hey, life is like the weather. Like, you don't know what it's going to be. People may project it and they may forecast it, but sometimes it just don't happen. Sometimes it's going to rain, sometimes it's going to hail, sometimes it's going to thunder, sometimes it's going to storm, but also sometimes the sun is going to shine. Sometimes you're going to be able to go to the beach and sometimes you're going to have to stay in the house. I believe that if we prepare them for that, then they'll know, hey, let me get an umbrella. And if you have an umbrella in the back of your car, then you won't be so anxious about when it rains because you know you already prepared for that. If you have salt in your house when you have a home and when you have a shovel, when it snow, you won't get upset because you be like, let me just go get my salt. Let me just go get my shovel. When you have certain things in place for things that may happen, then you're more prepared for what you may go through or what you may have to go through. I believe that it's very important that we let our kids know, like, life is not a game and life is not Fortnite. And I believe that you think that you may be building in there, but I want you to also build in life the same way you build in there not to get killed. Build so you don't get killed. The same way you killing people on the game, just know the corona is out there killing people in real life. The same way you think life is a game, look, it's not a game. I want you to tell your kids, like, look, bad things happen. And guess what? Bad things happen to good people. I had to tell my son, look at this. Your mom got cancer. Yeah, and your dad is not around the way we want him to be, but this is life. Look, son, my mom died when I was 3 months old from cancer, and my dad got strung out on drugs. But guess what? That was a part of my life, and I had to deal with it. I believe the more that you know that bad things may happen, the more that you're mentally prepared for it, and the more you can be physically prepared for it. So I believe that it's very important as parents, our job to prepare our kids for everything, not just teaching them the ABCs, not just telling them to get a job, not just telling them to learn how to write and read and to say yes ma'am, yes sir, not just that, but we also got to prepare them for the storm. We also have to let them know, hey baby, sometimes it's gonna rain. Hey, sometimes it's gonna be bad situations. Hey, listen at this. If you do everything right in life, which you can't, but if you do everything right in life that you think is right, guess what? Bad things could still happen to you. And 9 times out of 10, it will happen to you because you're on this earth. And you're going to have feelings and you're going to have emotions, but I want you to learn how to deal with that. I want you to learn how to channel it. Know that it's going to pass. Like, it's not going to rain all the time. Just like the sun isn't going to shine all the time. But if we prepare our kids for this, they'll be better equipped to deal with things. I want you to actually look at exactly what you're going through right now and exactly how this coronavirus affected you and sit down and have a conversation with your child about it. Like, hey, listen at this. Like, I needed that money from the government because I didn't have money saved up. Hey, look at this. I'm worried about my job. I got laid off and I don't have what I need saved up due to this storm that took place. And if you're on the flip side, like, hey, listen, son, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people don't have it, but I didn't even need the money from the government, or we didn't even need the money from the government because I built this and I done this and I done that. Whichever place that we are, we need to sit down and tell our kids right now so our kids can know, hey, this could happen. And you know what? Like my mom said, the way I'm building on the game, I need to build in life. The way that I'm killing people in this game and people killing me, this corona stuff is actually killing people out there in real life. The more we prepare our kids, I believe the more prepared they'll be to handle things that happen. Hey, it ain't going to be bad always, but hey, it ain't going to be good always. Prepare for the bad and be grateful for the good. And that's what we need to tell our kids. We don't got to shield them from the truth. We don't have to sit there and try to protect them from what they're going to have to deal with. It's life. I believe that's why a lot of people go through depression, and I believe that's why a lot of people turn to drugs because they weren't prepared for it. You prepare your kids for it in a way that when something happened in life, they like, oh, okay, my mom said this was gonna happen. Like my mom said it was going to rain sometimes. Like my mom said, get an umbrella. Yeah, my mom said I might lose my job. She told me to save an extra, 100 or whatever I could save every month for a rainy day. Hey, you know what? My mom said this might happen. So she told me to get some residual income and to make some good investments with my money. She told me not to only buy sneakers and not to only buy clothes and not to only worry about hair and nails and looking good. Because she said, hey, some things may happen and you need to be prepared for it when it happens. You need to be prepared to take care of yourself, your family, your wealth. You need to be prepared to take care of your assets. You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to take care of your mental health. You need to know how to lock down and go into a zone and say, this is a storm. Where's my umbrella? Where's my umbrella of money? Where's my umbrella of finances? Where's my umbrella of God? Where's my umbrella of everything that I may need to still succeed or to still survive during a storm? So I encourage you, without talking so long, I encourage you to sit down and tell your kids, hey, you playing games, but gay baby, life is not a game. Hey, you building on there, but baby, again, you need to build success for the world. Hey, you out of school, but do you know why you out of school? You out of school because they think that if you went, you may die. That's why you out of school. So just know that life is not going to always be hunky-dory and sugar cones and laughs and different things like that. But life could have a way of throwing some twists and some turns and some curveballs and all of these different things your way. However, baby, I want you to be prepared for it. And it's my job as a parent to make sure you're prepared. And if you want to cry about this, and if you're upset, and if you feel some type of way that it ain't going to be all good, give me a hug and we're going to get through it. But trust me, kids already know. But when you had that conversation, they have a different respect for you as a parent. They like, yo, my mom, she respect me enough to tell me this. Like, my mom, no. And I believe that you could talk to every kid on a different level about it. Like, you wouldn't go that deep with a kid that can't understand certain words, but you could say, hey, listen, babe, you know how you playing with that baby doll? Make sure she good, because that's what you got to do with yourself. You got to make sure you're good. So I believe that we have to, and it is our job to encourage and establish a foundation in our kids that they're not easily broken when a storm comes, and they're not easily destroyed in a storm. So listen, sit down and tell your kids, hey, baby, it's going to be some good days, and guess what? It's going to be some bad days. The sun going to shine someday, and it's going to rain someday. The weather is just like life. Unpredictable, good, bad, ugly, but guess what? It's going to stop, and we're going to get over it. It can't last always. Bye.